Welcome to Life Beyond B.S, where we ditch the belief systems and the bullshit and get real about life. Here it's about awareness, choice, and creating joy that actually lasts. No perfection, just honest talk and powerful change. I'm your host, Heather McNally, and let's get into it. Hey, friends, welcome back to Life Beyond B.S, where we look at your belief systems and, the bullshit that we put on ourselves and that society puts on us. And we learn how to choose different and live differently. I'm your host, Heather McNally. I'm a life empowerment coach, a speaker, and an author. And I'm just so glad that you're here for episode 2. And I just want to start this by saying thank you. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, just you being here and listening or watching on YouTube means more to me than I can ever express. I'm so delighted to be able to, I'm more than delighted, I'm absolutely over the moon thrilled to be able to be bringing this to you because this is the kind of voice that I wish I had had when I was younger. And I just want to be able to share with you and truly make a difference in your lives. Today, we're going to dive into something that I believe is the very first step in creating that life that you want, that you're desiring, that's burning inside of you, but you don't know what to do to get there, or that you believe you can't get there. And that is awareness. Without awareness, nothing changes. Like I always say, you don't know what you don't know, right? If you're not aware of something, how can you make a change? How can you know you want different? So with awareness, everything changes. It's like flipping a light switch on in a dark room, and suddenly you see what's actually there. You walk into a room, it's dark, you can't really tell. Maybe you can make out some shadows, but you turn that light on, and all of a sudden you see. And that's what awareness can do for you. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. I'll tell you that I'm the kind of person that once I'm aware of something, it may start as a little voice in the back of my head. I might be surprised by it, but it's like it just grows and grows and grows, and I can't ignore it. And I don't know about you, but once I know, say I'm unhappy or say I want something, it's there and it keeps talking to me. So, why does awareness matter? Here's the thing, you can't change it if you don't recognize it. Like I said, you don't know what you don't know. Most of us live on that autopilot. And what that is your subconscious. It's running you 95% of the time. Your conscious life that you feel like you think you make all the choices all the time, it's only running 5% of your life. Most of us are living in that, autopilot on subconscious drives, the things that are in our heads, the beliefs that we have, the patterns that we follow through on, and the habits. We've created these neural pathways in our brain that tell us, all right, you do this. And that's all there is to it. You're not thinking about it. And so we go through the motions and we follow those old belief systems and we stay in toxic patterns sometimes, not because we want to, but because that's what is happening in our lives. That's what's happening in our brain. It's happening in our bodies. We're not even aware of it. I mean, how many times have you driven somewhere, maybe work in the morning, or you're going to see a relative you see regularly or a friend, and you've had that moment where all of a sudden you're like, oh, I don't even remember getting here. I know I was conscious, but I don't even remember getting here because it's a pattern for you and you're used to doing that pattern, but you got there. That's your unconscious. You're, 95% of you driving your behaviors. Awareness is where the magic, like literally magic, begins. It's when you have a moment and you stop and say, like, wait a minute, is this what I really want? You could be just repeating an old story that's in your body and your brain. For me, awareness was the key that started to unlock everything else. Like not the whole answer, not just all at once, but it was a key. It unlocked something in me. So I'll give you an example from my own life. So I'm about 25 years old. Now, I'm not living in my home anymore. That was an abusive environment. I've moved out. I've already actually at 25 years old, I got married at 23. I met my husband. We were still 17 when we met. Started dating when I was 18. And so I started to change. I started to see little things and start making differences. But when I had this, I call it my brick in the face moment, about 25 years old. And one of my friends asked me if I wanted to go somewhere. And I said, I can't. And it felt like I had been hit by a brick in the face because all of a sudden I realized, what did I just say? Like, did I actually just say I can't? She was asking me if I wanted to go to a concert. I wanted to go. I'm 25. I live on my own. I'm married. I have my own paycheck. And I said, I can't, as if something was holding me back. And guess what? It was me. Hello, it was me. I was holding myself back. And the reason is because I had that story in my mind. If you heard my first episode, you know I grew up in an abusive environment. My father was very abusive. And that's what I was told. You can't. I couldn't make anyone happy. I couldn't make my own decisions. I couldn't be seen. I couldn't be heard. And that was like my two words, I can't. And I believed it with my whole heart and soul and body. And so that was a moment that it was like, holy shit, what did I just say? I said I can't, but I can. I didn't even think about it. And that was like a, oof, okay, why am I thinking that? And then I realized I get to make that decision. Wow. So back then, I wasn't aware of how much my own beliefs and patterns were driving me. I had no idea. I was just being, I was existing in the world, like so many of us are, without any other thought, just existing. And I just thought, well, this is life. This is who I am. This is who I'm going to be. And this is what I have to deal with. That moment happened, and I saw at least that pattern. Like I said, this is a key. You have a whole bunch of doors to open in life, right? But this was a key to open a door that I had no idea was there and closed and locked. I saw that pattern. I noticed the way I was talking to myself because it was like, I can't. Well, I started to realize I was saying I can't for so many things. Not just I can't make a decision to go out with a friend when I want to, but I can't do any better. I can't get to where I want to be. I can't live the life I want. I can't be happy. So I realized the choices that I was making weren't actually choices at all. They were habits. Habits, we form them, but you have to, if you want to change them, you got to question it. And there were beliefs and conditioning that I had. And like that, the lights came on in my brain. Did it fix everything overnight? Like I said, no. But it gave me something I'd never had before, the perspective, a sense of power, choice. Choice is power. And that literally shifted everything. So, when I talk about awareness, I want to break it down for you in a few different ways that maybe will help you become aware of something that you're feeling and you don't even recognize it, or something that you're doing and you don't even recognize it. Self-awareness is noticing your own thoughts, your own emotions, and your own beliefs. Sometimes I sit and I think, what am I feeling in my body? Because we all have, if you don't know this, so we all have stress in our life, right? It's just part of life. But the less stress you have, the better for yourself, mentally, physically, in every single way. And what you can do is check in with your body, check in with your mind, check in with your heart and your soul, and see what you're feeling. And is it something you want to be feeling? Situational awareness is when you notice the circumstances or other people and how they're impacting you, how what they do and how they live and how they behave impacts you and your life and how you feel about yourself and about life and about the world. Sometimes you can love somebody, but their behaviors are not beneficial for you. And so you have to look at that and see where you're feeling that. How are you feeling in your body, in your heart, in your soul? Like I said, body awareness. What is your body trying to tell you? Stress, intuition, tension, fatigue. Your body holds so much and it will speak to you so much louder than you realize. So it is really important to start to become aware of how you feel in your body. When somebody walks in the room and you know that your interactions with this person are not good or historically have not been good, what is your body telling you? Intuition is it's your body telling you that you're picking up on signals. You need to listen to that and become aware. Awareness of those belief systems. It's my favorite because so many of us are operating under that old belief system or the bullshit that we tell ourselves, that other people have told us, that society puts upon us. And they may not be working for you. So becoming aware of those. When I had that brick in the face moment of I can't, it literally felt like I was in another body or I had an out of body experience for a minute. And it was like, whoa. And it really started to open my eyes. So that's what you want to do. You want to open your eyes and start to really know yourself. Here's the thing, awareness isn't about judgment. You're not judging yourself. If you become aware of other people, it doesn't mean you're judging. It's just information. It's about not about beating yourself up. It's about observing what's going on with compassion. Okay? With compassion. That's so important because just recognizing something is so great. But then you don't want to turn around and say, oh, you loser. Oh, I can't believe you did that. Oh, they're all going to laugh at you. None of that. Once you become aware, you are powerful. Seeing yourself clearly without labeling it good or bad is what you need. So, awareness sounds great in theory, but how do you actually practice it? Well, here are just some tools that have worked for me and my clients in becoming more aware. Journaling. And I know some people go, oh, journaling. Well, there is something to be said for getting those thoughts out of your head and especially handwriting them down because you have that connection between your brain and what you're putting down there and you can let go of it. I journaled all through high school and I didn't know, and I mean, that was 100 years ago at this point, but I didn't know that it was so therapeutic. But I will say that every time I wrote something, I did feel a release in my body because I know I hold my tension in my jaw, my neck, and my shoulders and upper back too sometimes. And I noticed that I would be feeling that. And if I wrote these things down, wow, I was able to get them out of my brain. It was amazing. And hey, I actually created a journal that guides you with some prompts and affirmations. It's called Soul Awakening and it is available on Amazon, but you can just use a blank notebook or paper and just write things down because as you start writing, things flow. The pause and ask method, I want you to take a breath and ask yourself, like really nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathing is so important because in our society, we tend to breathe very shallow. When we're born, we're not that way. And if you observe animals, they just breathe. But we have a tendency to hold our stress and to not breathe. Breathe. Take that breath and ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? What do I need? And feel that again in your body, your heart, your soul. Notice your language. Words mean so much. And if you're saying, I always do this right, do this wrong, I always, it's a generalization, or I can't. It's a generalization. And they often reveal hidden beliefs. Question those when they come out of your mouth, or even just in your head. Breath work and meditation, just taking the time to slow down and get in your body and feel your body and breathe because we need that air. We need that oxygen to come into our body and go into our lungs, but also through our body to be able to help all our blood cells get enough oxygen in them. And meditation. Meditation, for me, I need a guided meditation. I can't just sit and meditate yet. But Guided meditations, they can just be quick. They can be a minute, 3 minutes. Really an amazing tool to help you settle into your body and change how you're feeling. And then there's the life wheel, which is something that I work with my clients. And it's one of my favorite tools for checking in on where you're thriving and where you're running on empty. And it's looking at different parts of your life and rating yourself on a scale of like 1 to 10 and figuring out where you're truly happy and where you want improvement. It's really an amazing tool. The point is, don't do them all. Pick one this week and just try it. See what works for you. And like I said, even if it's journaling for 5 minutes or taking some deep breaths when you know you need to, especially if you're feeling stressed, anxious, tense, small steps will create huge shifts. So here's what I want you to remember. Awareness by itself doesn't change your life. It's just the first step. But the real transformation comes when you use that awareness and make a choice, like an empowering, strong choice. Awareness opens that door. You've got the key. Open the door, and choice is walking through that door. In our next episode, we're going to go into choice and we're going to be talking about that. That is the most powerful tool that you have in your life to create the life that you actually want, the one that you desire, the one that you know has to be out there. Do you know that there's just something else? There's got to be more. That's where choice comes in. When I became aware of saying I can't, and that awareness started creeping up and getting louder and louder and louder, I realized I can make that choice to say yes. I can make that choice to decide what I want, where I want to go, who I want to spend my time with, what kind of life I want. And it didn't all hit me all at once, but it opened a door to starting to realize that and starting to use my power of choice. So here's my invitation for you this week. Notice just one thing, one simple thing where you become aware of how you're feeling, what you're thinking. Where are you running on autopilot? Where could you pause and bring that awareness into your life? And if you want to, I'd love it if you share. I'd love to hear from you. Message me, tag me on social media. Tell me your awareness win because it is a win. It's a huge win because you never know. Your story might help someone else wake up too. Remember, awareness is not about being perfect. I don't believe in perfection. It's about being real with yourself first. Our next episode, like I said, it's all about choice, and I can't wait to dive into it. I hope that you have found something here that has helped you, and I hope that you can become aware of maybe where you want a change. As always, if you want to connect, you can find me on my website, heathermcnally.com, where you can take my limiting beliefs finder and subscribe to my newsletter. I'm on Instagram at Heather_A_McNally. And all of the info is in the show notes if you want to peek at those. If this episode spoke to you, please follow, subscribe, and share it with a friend if you feel so compelled to do so. I would love that. Thank you. I'm honored that you're sharing this space with me. Wherever you are right now, I want you to know you are not alone and you always have the power to choose differently. Until next time, I'm Heather McNally. Go live fully, freely, and unapologetically. Your life beyond BS starts now. I'm so grateful you were here today. Remember, your peace, joy, and happiness aren't found in the BS. They're found in your choices. If this episode spoke to you, please rate, review, follow, and subscribe, and share it with a friend. For ways to connect or work with me, check the show notes or visit heathermcnally.com. Until next time, keep choosing you and keep living your life beyond BS.